I'm going to give you the story of a book and the President of the United States. Not this president, but a former president. And first of all, let me show you some books that I absolutely know most of you have never seen. And this is a book called Intimate Secrets that really was written by Pam and myself. And someone told me, they said, man, you need to reprint this. And we may do that one day. The Secret Place of the Most High, The Secret of the Prayer Closet, The Sacred Name of God, The Secret Power of Fasting, Jesus' 3 Secret Weapons, The Secret of Walking in the Spirit, Married Secrets from Pam, and The Key to Receiving Anything from the Lord. Look at there. Hey, there's Jonathan. He's behind the camera. Look at that little fella. He was cute. What happened to him? I don't know. He's still handsome. He's handsome and debonair. So look at you, Jonathan. This is a book that's got your picture all over it. Hang on, let me show you this. Look at this. This is Jonathan. Look, when he was born, there's Jonathan in a suitcase. That's how we used to carry him. We just pack him in a suitcase and zip him up. No, we really didn't. But we're on the road here. Here's Jonathan at the Atlanta ball game, and there's Pam being tempted by a milkshake. Those are some pictures, black and white pictures. Anyway, if you think we should reprint this, let us know. And it's called Intimate Secrets. Just say, hey, we'd like to have it reprinted. I may reprint that if you request. It's really interesting. Okay, this one you'll never see, because I have the only copy left. This is called God's Time Clock for Planet Earth, printed in 1981. This is not the book I want to show you, by the way. And this one, I wrote this as a novel when I was 19, and of course I had some help writing it. And this is called The Perfect Day, and it's about 3 people that actually existed on Earth, their story, and what happens to them in the millennial reign. And this one I don't plan rewriting because back in the day, nobody read novels, and it didn't go that well. So I said, well, and after, 5 years later, 10 years later, everybody writes a Christian novel. Now, this is the book I want to tell you about the president. This book called Plucking the Eagle's Wings, and again, this is one of those books to my knowledge we're out of, so you can't order it. And it's very dated because I talk about the 2008 election and President Bush, and this deals with President Bush. When I wrote this book, what I did, this is a different cover. I put the presidential seal here in the middle and put Plucking the Eagle's Wings, okay? And this had the story of how I told Bush to run for president, how his name totaled his name in Hebrew, the numerical value totaled the Florida recount, and I started predicting he would win, that Gore was not going to overthrow it, based on some of those patterns, and of course that's in this book. And again, we don't have this book available because we're out of it. But there were 10,000 copies with the gold seal that were printed with this book, and I have one of those. I have the first of the 10,000 copies with the gold seal that I signed, okay, and I kept. 3 of these ended up in President Bush's hand. It was the White House lawyer, which is his lawyer at the White House in that time, who wrote me a letter, and I kept the letter, and I told my mom to keep it. We have no idea what happened to it, but it says, because of the presidential seal, there was not a disclaimer in the book that was used just for, there was a word they used, just for purposes. But we don't want anyone to think that the president, it's his book because his name is mentioned. So I was getting ready to print another 10,000 copies and had to go back and put an eagle instead of the presidential seal on the book. And I'm glad they did because it was going to press and it was already printed and I was getting ready to use the same cover. So afterwards, we did probably another 20,000 copies, and this is the one that's on it. So if you're one of those persons that has that gold seal with the presidential seal on it, and who knows who got those? That's been a long time ago. It's been probably 14 years ago, maybe, something like that. But you hold on to that book because that's kind of a rare copy of a book. Also, speaking of books, just want to remind you, this is still available at Amazon and also through Perry Stone Ministries, This Season of Angels. This is our most recent book. I need you to get this because it will be a blessing to you. We don't write them just to have them sit in a warehouse somewhere. We write them for you. All right, come back with us and join us again. I've got something else to show you when we come back on another special.